Ally.
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 I would say an ally is somebody that you can trust, somebody who's on your side. Ally, alliance, allegiance. You have to have multiple, or at least one other person to be an ally.
I think to be an ally, you have to have made a commitment to someone.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's not all of my friends are my allies necessarily. You know, an ally is someone that I know would defend me or help me in a situation.
But then why are they your friends?
Typically, in my experience, ally is used in the context of politics, specifically military alliances. Mm-hmm. If someone in politics, if a country is your ally, it means that you stand together. In a military conflict, your ally will fight beside you. They will bring you reinforcements. It's somebody who is on a country or a regime who's on your side.
Yeah, they're committed to you.
Yeah, and you can use the word in your personal life, but it's less common. I don't frequently refer to my friends as my allies.
Never.
Unless you're, unless you're fighting someone, but I don't fight people usually. So, ally tends to refer to somebody that is on your side against something else.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's normally is a computation.
Yeah, confrontation for sure.
Right. Yeah, political country, we have allied nations or allied armies in a conflict.
Like during the World Wars, when we were forming the UN, we all had allies. Right. So there was like, who were the big three?
The United States, England, and France.
Yes. Okay, I wasn't gonna be the first one to say it though.
So they were allies, and
then the United Nations kind of came in and joined the allies. We always referred to them as the allies.
Well, because they were our allies.
Because they were our allies.
On the other side,
exactly. Those are our
the
enemies.
Italians and the Russians. That was their allies.
Yeah.
Like Germany, Japan at World War II.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into 3 yet. Let's not jump straight to 4.
Yeah.
Hopefully 3's a little while away.
But yeah, I think military and fighting in countries is about the only context you'll hear someone use that word, ally.
And even outside of the context of a military conflict, then you have alliances, maybe trade alliances, diplomatic alliances.
The one you mentioned the other day, Star or whatever, with the airlines, they made an alliance.
Star Alliance. That's
So
right.
I would say that they're allies to each other.
They've all agreed to work together and help each other make some money, so they're allied.
Against the evil of other airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the difference between ally and associate?
And an associate? Oh, well, I would say an ally is somebody that you trust, that you have definitely made, like Eric said, a commitment to have their back. An associate, I would just say, is somebody that you're around. You communicate with them, you're cordial with them, but there's no implied responsibility towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that even if people don't realize it, there is an implied conflict when you're talking about an ally. So
yeah, you have to stand together against something.
Right. So recently, there has been a lot of attention on LGBT rights, like gay, transgender, lesbian, bisexuals, so that's been a big focus in our country. So people will say that they are LGBTQ allies. That means that they support them, they will fight for them, they have their backs. It is like we're a united front against something, against people who want to oppress our rights as people.
Oh, okay.
So, but once again, whenever you use the word ally, there is an implied foe. There's something that you are united against or fighting against.
Okay.
And maybe it's social justice, maybe it's an actual war, maybe it's political tariffs or something, but that's my best understanding.
Yeah. And so except ally, let's say colleague, partner, are these, I think, different?
Associate and colleague are similar, but ally is something more significant.
And partner?
A partner, you can have a business partner. A partner means you have an agreement between each other.
Yeah,
partner
you work
usually-
towards something. These
Yeah,
are people
working
that
towards
you...
a common goal.
Yeah, you
That's your
work
partner.
alongside them, or you work towards something, but you're not necessarily working against something.
Yeah, an ally is
implies
defending you.
working against something.
Mhm.
Like you're defending or, working against something. But if you have a colleague or a partner or an associate, these are people that you work alongside.
Yeah, like
maybe
we're
do
trade
projects
partners
together.
with other countries that we wouldn't call ourselves allies with.
Right.
I would say the word partner kind of implies two parties, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if Leah and I were in a group, we would be partners. But if all three of us were in a group, we would just...
No, we could all be partners. Yeah, we could all be partners. Like if you're partners in a law firm or something, you can have multiple
I guess
people.
in that context, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Never mind,
partners
scratch
and the
that.
colleagues are same? Too?
No, colleague is just someone that you work with. So if Leah and I both worked in a lab together, we would be colleagues.
If
But
we
partnership-
started our own lab together,
Yeah.
we would be partners.
Yeah, so partners have to have some kind of agreement between each other,
Yeah.
They've
And then-
agreed to share some responsibility. So if we owned the lab together, we'd be partners.
Right.
But if we simply just worked there, then
We
we're
would be
just colleagues. There's,
Yeah,
there's no
we're
partnership.
colleagues. Like
between
we're
us.
colleagues. We're all.
If
we're
I
all-
worked
Yeah.
at a different lab and came over to visit their lab, I'd be an associate because I'm kind of somebody who
You're associated, but
socializes
not a
with
part.
them, and yeah, exactly. But I'm not a part of your lab. I'm in my
Will
lab
be.
by myself.
As-
I have no
feel like-
partners.
I feel like associate is the hardest word actually out of all of these.
Yeah.
Associate is a little harder to define.
It's
a
very
loose term.
generic,
Associate
yeah.
Associate comes from being associated with something, which means that you are kind of involved with it, but maybe not a large part of it.
Maybe not on the level of a partner.
Yeah, I
or-
mean,
It's like the least
colleague.
amount of commitment to a person that you have, but still maintain a symbiotic relationship with.
A lot of these words I think of in the context of a business. So, if I have a business associate, then that means that I have a business and I know this person from work, but maybe we don't work together. Like maybe this person is someone I know who's in the same business but works for a different company, or maybe it's some like a connection, like when you network, you meet associates. It's just somebody that you know from the same field that you are in, but you don't necessarily work together, but maybe you could work together one day. There's a connection there, but it's not necessarily a very close one.
That was an interesting point, I guess. But some titles are like sales associate.
Oh, that's a
You
whole
know-
different, complicated.
Yeah, but
that's
it does
true.
kind of imply a lower level of status, I guess.
Sure.
Like a sales associate would be the lowest man on the totem pole, and then you have like your manager, your sales manager. But if
That-
we were talking
in
about
that
like
case-
associate versus partnership, like the amount of
Yeah, I just feel like associate is like one of those catch-all words. Like,
Yeah,
As long as
exactly.
it's associated with something else, you can call it an associate.
Right.
There's probably a better word.
like there's not a lot
that
of
more-
responsibility.
Yeah, strictly
commitment
defines
in
the
there.
title, but just about anything could be an associate, As
But-
long as the two things
yeah.
are connected in any way, shape, or form, you can call those two parties associates.
But colleague is well defined. It just means somebody you work
Yeah,
with.
you work with.
They're your
Directly
peers.
with, yeah.
They're your peers.
Okay.
So,
We're all colleagues here.
yeah, we're
so.
all colleagues. We all go to school together. I would call everyone in university my
So
colleagues.
we're definitely associates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
More
why I
so,
see
yeah.
associate is so many places. I mean,
Yes.
APG is associate, right?
What is AAPG?
American Association.
American Association of
So we're getting into-
association just means a big group
Yeah.
of people that are associated by a common topic.
Yeah.
So associated just means it all relates together. So an
Mhm.
association is just a big group of people that share one
Some
specific
common thing,
common
yeah.
trait.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
petroleum geology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all associated.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some perspective, everybody is associated.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's why
Yes.
associate
We're all
is the
associates.
has the
Everybody.
least amount of
Like,
meaning.
Yeah.
It's linked to each other, then it's
Yes.
associated, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. An association is just a big group of people who
Okay.
for one.
Like community is the same thing? Like community association? is
I
the same
feel
thing?
like a community has more of an informal meeting. I feel like an association is an organized group that was made for the specific purpose
yeah.
of
Association shares a common interest.
right.
A community shares a common space. You know,
Yeah,
like
or
a physical space. Like a community is defined by its relative location to one another. But AAPG can have people associated with them across the entire globe, as long as they share that common interest. I think we just changed
Association
the meaning
is
of
more
words
like
because we used them
organized.
incorrectly
I
for
feel
a long
like
time.
I feel like you
like,
have
it just
to.
means that now.
I feel like you have to actively join an association.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to join it. It's like a club.
If you're part of a community, then you're kind of passively part of a community. Like if you live in a place, you're part of that community.
Yeah,
you
whether
don't have
you
to
want to or
actively
not.
join it. If you're a scientist, you're part of the scientific community, whether you like it or not. But you get to choose what associations you
That's a good point.
you
Yeah.
subscribe to. You have
Yeah.
to join those actively based on your interests and whether or not you belong.
Okay, so association actually is the organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It's not like-
Exactly. An organization, it is a synonym for organization.
Okay, very cool. Have you ever heard a word called confederate?
Confederate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a word
Oh,
that has
gosh.
fallen out of favor.
Yeah,
We don't
there's
use
some
it,
some
uh,
real emotional ties to that word.
Yeah, so, I mean, gosh, we don't use it so much, it's hard for me to even think of what the actual definition of a confederacy is. I imagine it's the same thing as a union.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you know American history, the Civil War, one side was called the Union and the other was the Confederacy. And the Confederates lost, and so the word has sort of fallen out of favor. We don't use it very much anymore.
There is a strong tie into that specific history, even though it was a long time ago. We tie Confederate and Confederacy to the Civil War in
Mhm.
America.
So, so this word, all you talk about is a noun, but like Google lists a verb version of. It's called even pronounced different. Like
Allied.
Allied.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I like. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just the verb of becoming someone's ally. You know, you may ally yourself with a position to say you'll defend that position.
It's really rare to use this word in verb.
I'm trying to think
It's not
of
very
a
common unless you're,
context.
you know, in combat.
Or in politics.
Yeah.
Like once again, in politics or
I
in
can see people using
war.
it maybe playing video games, you know, if they're
Like I could
simulating
create a
war.
sentence to use that, but I would never naturally say it. I
Like
would never
President
say
will, on
I
the news
allied
will say,
with.
"Oh, no."
Right.
I
Yeah,
I
the
wouldn't say
president
I
would say it.
allied with
Well,
Trump. I would say
but
I
our president-
agree.
our
I
current
don't
president might
actually, not at all. But
A hypothetical president might, but
Yeah.
you even know that
Let's
way?
not get into that.
But it's on the news, right? And sometimes
Yes.
you can hear about it.
Yes,
Like,
if
you will
something-
mention-
yeah,
you might
to-
hear, you know, one country has allied themselves with another.
Yeah, or they are allied, or they have allied themselves together.
Mm-hmm. If they're gonna, you know, defend each other.
Yeah, but politics and war. Conflict, politics, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, basically it. But I kind of want to know, since we already talked about allies in the wall, so did you learn like this kind of history, middle school or high school, to learn
History.
American history or the
Yeah.
world history?
World history and American history.
And
And
Texas.
Texas
And
history.
Texas history.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
three histories.
state, nation, world levels, we have to take all three.
And then in college, you have to take
It's a-
Texas and U.S.
American politics.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to take politics?
Yes.
Well,
in
I guess
college.
it's
well, yeah, you take
They
government.
call Well, government's different than U.S. History 1 and U.S. History 2.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
and you have to take U.S. history, two semesters of U.S. history
Right,
in
right.
college.
That's what college. Yeah.
Yeah. So you take
Not
politics,
Texas.
or yeah, you take government or politics, like 2 semesters of that, and also 2 semesters of U.S. history. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
ally,
ally,